resumes and CVs is that recruiters nowadays are looking for attractive CVs, or CVs that count, in the sense that when they get it in their hand or when they get it on their monitors, it must be good enough, or it must be attractive enough, or it must be it must be content worthy, so as to get you that particular job that is required. So how do you impress your recruiters, and how do you get your dream job? This is what I am going to tell you in the following slides. So today we will be talking about what a resume is, and then the difference between a resume and a CV, different resume formats, then what you need to know before making a CV or before making a resume, and resume writing tips. Now CV we will be relegating to the back, because nowadays most of the recruiters want a resume instead of a CV. So this is just a sample CV resume that I put in. Now you'll notice that I have put my picture. Nowadays with US media students, I'm sure you'll be able to make much better pictures.
Sir, your network issue. Sir,
Yeah,
picture your net gone.
Okay, so this is my picture, and here you will see that this particular picture has been taken by, as I told you, Remo. So I'm sure you will be able to take very good pictures like this, and you will need to write a small catchy write-up about you. And this would be the first slide, or this would be the first introduction of your resume. With this small intro, the recruiters should be able to take you straight away. That's the catch nowadays. We'll try to practice this in the class also. So how do we write a resume? A resume, naturally, once again, is what stands between you and your dream job. So make sure that your resume is very strong. Now, resumes and CVs, that particular name is used interchangeably, but it is not. A resume is a critical document used in job applications to showcase an individual's qualification, skills, work experience, and education to potential employees. So your resume is very important because it shows your qualifications, what you can do to that company, whether you have any work experience. Of course, when you pass out your degree, you will not have much work experience, but at the same time, gradually you will gain experience. So when you have experience, you are supposed to show that in your resume. And then also your education to potential employees. You will definitely have certain certificates. You would have attended a seminar, you would have attended certificate course. All these things, you will have your certificate, and these are all educational qualifications to prove that you are a better candidate than the other person. CV, on the other hand, is very extensive. CV will have about 3, 4, 5 pages. So not many recruiters want to read this. But in certain cases, CVs are required, and CV, the word curriculum vitae or curriculum vitae, this CV actually includes a full extent of your academic credentials and your professional experience. For example, for certain jobs, like suppose I am applying for a teaching post, then they want a CV instead of a resume, because they want to know where I worked, the number of years that I worked in that particular institution, and the subjects that I taught, and things like that. So the CV should be, they would prefer a CV. Such recruiters prefer a CV because my academic credentials are there, and also the professional experience is also in detail. In resume, only include the skills and qualifications related to the position that you want. So suppose you're applying for the post of a journalist, then only include those skills and those qualifications that you have received with respect to that particular post. Or suppose you're applying for an e-content writer, then whatever content writing that you have done, you include those skills. Or suppose you're applying for the post of a photographer, again include those skills, maybe add a few photos that have placed you in the top notch or first position, include those things. So the resume will be concise and short, so that it will be very easy for the recruiter to read. Now there are 3 types of resume formats. You have the reverse chronological order, you have the functional or the fresher resume, you also have the combination. So reverse chronological order means the latest work history or the latest job that you have done, the present one, that should be shown first, and then you go backwards. For example, 2022 you joined a particular company. 2022 to 23 to present time you are still working in that company. That should be the first. Then maybe another 3 years you worked in another company, so it will be like 2018 to 2020. Let's say for me, if I am applying for a post next time, my post would be in such a way that presently my reverse chronological order, I will say I'm presently working at Devgiri College, Department of Business Communication. My previous one, so from 2020 till now, that is still present. And let's say from 2010 to 2020, it was Malabar Christian College, and so on and so forth. So this is what is meant by a reverse chronological order. Then, so there it highlights your career progression, and it is suitable for people with a stable job history. So my career record is rather stable because I've been working in Malabar Christian College, then I've had a 6-year stint at Oman, and then back to Malabar Christian College, and then to Devgiri. So I'm not shuttled from one place to another. So for me, a reverse chronological order resume will be beneficial. So see to it that whatever way you are working, whichever experience you have, see to it that either you have a reverse chronological or a resume, or the next one, which is a functional or a fresher resume. Now this is for you, functional or fresher. Here you focus on your skill or your achievement, your specific skills and accomplishments relevant to the particular job. As I told you, you are applying for the post of a photographer. Then give the posts relevant, give pictures or give stories relevant to the photographic journalism that you have done, or downplay gaps in employment or frequent job changes. Suppose let's say it's about 5 years now and you are applying for a job, and in this 5 years you've moved from content writing to photography to reporter and things like that, then you have a lot of job change. Now this is really recruiters do not like it. They want you to have a constant job. So you can downplay those things. Downplay means you can make those things less and focus more on what you want to be. For example, again, as maybe you're looking for a photojournalism or a photographer post in, let's say, a big company. So at that time, use whatever you write whatever skills that you have. Maybe you can use mirrorless camera. You have a mirrorless camera. Then maybe you would have taken a photo for a big company, maybe National Geographic, and that has given you a achievement award and things like that. So all those things, highlight them, and naturally when a recruiter looks at this, he or she will be more interested in you because you are focusing on your skill and your achievement. So this is what you call a functional or a fresher resume, and this is what we will be practicing in the class because you are all freshers. Then if you have a diverse skill set, that means if you have a skill set in the sense that you have experience, you also have a, let's say, you also have certain skills that you want to focus upon, then you can use a combination resume where you have your qualifications, you have your chronological work history, you also have your skills that you can do. For example, you can see in mine, I have written nowadays as I've changed my resume style or my introduction style as a e-content and trainer. So e-content is something relatively new. So in my combination resume, I will be giving the list of the qualifications and the work history wherein I have worked at Malabar Christian College and Devagiri and all that. Along with that, now I will add the e-content. The e-content will be the YouTube videos that I make, the infographics that I do, plus the change that I have, that is the shift from English department to business communication. So my resume will be more of a combination resume. So this, I hope you understand the difference there. Now you have other types of resumes. These resumes are slightly difficult, but if you can master them, we will try this out in Canva and all those things. From class, we'll be having some practicals because most of my portions will be over by next week or so. So you have infographic or visual resumes where there will be more of graphics, more of images, more of design elements. Thereby, that resume will be visually appealing. It will be creative. And if you are looking for a creative post or a creative media manager post, then such resumes, an infographic or a visual resume, will definitely do you very good. And nowadays, the new thing is the digital or online resumes, where you host your personal resume on a website, and LinkedIn has this, and you say open for jobs. So people looking on that green sticker finds that you are open for a job and that you will be able to let's say join out of office hours. Maybe you are a student and you can do some additional work maybe in the evening. Put a sticker like open to work from so and so, so and so. This is nowadays in vogue, or they're known as digital and online resumes. Here you can add multi elements like videos and links and portfolios. You can have a 1 minute clipping of yourself, what you do, the interests that you like, and things like that. And this is naturally shareable with everyone. Nowadays, sharing content is becoming more and more important. So a digital and online resume is one important resume that you can look into. So the key point is that the choice of resume depends upon your unique background, your career goals, and the specific job that you are applying for. Tailoring your resume to the job description and showcasing relevant skills and experiences is essential for a successful application. നമുക്ക് ചിലവർക്ക് നല്ലവണ്ണം പാട്ട് പാടാൻ പറ്റുമായിരിക്കും, ചിലവർക്ക് നല്ലവണ്ണം ഐപാഡിൽ വരയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റുമായിരിക്കും, ചിലവർക്ക് നല്ലവണ്ണം ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫി, ചിലവർക്ക് നല്ലവണ്ണം വാക്സാമർത്ഥ്യം ഉണ്ടാവും. They can speak very well. Some can become excellent teachers. So depending on what is your particular skill set and what is your career, based on that you can make your resume. ഏറ്റവും ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ ആണ്. ഇതിനൊക്കെ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യണം. ആദ്യത്തെ പ്രിപ്പറേഷന് കുറച്ച് സമയം എടുക്കും. ഒരു CV ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒരു ദിവസം എടുത്തു എന്ന് വരും, 1-2 ദിവസം എടുത്തു എന്ന് വരും. ഞാനൊരു CV ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ I think I took about 3 days because there were so many things that I needed to add, so many things that I needed to delete. And objective statement is basically a professional summary of what you intend, what is your qualification, what are your objectives, and things like that. So this will take you into what is known as an elevator pitch. And what is an elevator pitch? Elevator കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. Elevator നിങ്ങൾ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്, കോളേജിൽ തന്നെ വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. So an elevator takes you up or down, but here this elevator pitch is actually taking you up. Your resume with your particular objective state will hopefully cast an impression on the recruiter in such a way that he will take your resume and place it on top. This is the objective. You must write your resume in such a way that it is professional and it summarizes all that has to say about you. There should be objective statements, and if this is done, it will automatically put you into the elevator, which means it will take you into a elevated post, or it will take you higher. These are certain resume writing tips. Do a very clean job. Don't make a mess of things. Don't make grammar mistakes. I'll tell you that also. Then your contact information should be very important. Then if required, especially in certain cases, you're applying for a specific you're going in for, let's say, this functional or fresher resume. If you're going in for a functional resume, let's say we are going in for the post of a photographer, then you can resume faux pas. These are resume mistakes that some of you do. Like, I was born in Kozhikode. Nobody wants to know where you were born. They would like to know your date of birth because they would want to know your age. For example, I'm 60, and in Dubai, after 60, it's difficult to get a job. So I have to look for professional jobs that employ people after 60. So that is very important. But whether I'm born in Kozhikode or whether I'm born in Telangana or Visakhapatnam or anywhere, that's not a problem. My childhood photo. Here are a few of my childhood photos where I was an intelligent person and I got first prize in the classroom and all. Who cares? Nobody wants to know. What have you done now? Last month, what were you doing? During COVID season, give me some of the achievements that you have done. Were you sitting idle? These are things that your recruiter wants to know. Or your email, especially some of your emails. We will check your emails in class actually. For example, sweetiebaby@gmail.com or doomster or so many. I am not so and so. I'm not premanand@gmail.com. So these are certain email addresses that put recruiters off, and they may not take it. So be careful about such things. So most HR managers do not need to know your birth date, your place. Of course, birth date maybe. They don't want to see your photo. They don't want to know about your first email and things like that. So see to it that your resume is professional. These are certain mistakes that are done. You see, some people make mistakes in spelling and grammar. 21.7 people make mistakes in grammar. Many people do write or send the same resumes to all posts. There's no change. Then nowadays you need keywords, especially if you are having an online resume. Unprofessional email addresses like I told you, sweetiebaby@gmail.com and things like that. Irrelevant information. Missing contact information. These are all things that should not be the. If you've noticed, even I have made a few mistakes here. So naturally, spellings and grammar puts people off. So see to it that you make your resumes as perfect as possible, and maybe present it in a visual form so that the recruiter can easily understand. So we are ending the presentation. The hardest thing about these things is that you have to be picky, in the sense that you have to take information and the words that you use very carefully. The choice of words is very important. Thank you very much.